a quick answer on this one, I would really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're looking in the implementation of it. The legislature, and I'm working with them, the legislature is looking at, can we make our state-issued photo IDs available at no charge? And I think that goes a long way. Already, 97 or 98% of our registered voters possess a photo ID issued by the state. We're committed to make sure
everybody gets one.
everyone has an opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Senator Bennet,
Madam Chair,
you are well aware of our competition over the years for who has the highest voter turnout.
I'm going to talk about that today. And Senator Britt, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. And Senator Fisher, thank you for letting me come to the Rules Committee. And I'd like to thank all of you for your patriotic service to our country. I never thought I would say that necessarily about people that were administering our elections, but you are at the heart of what this democracy is facing right now, and I deeply appreciate that. And Ms. Johnson, thank you as well for your patriotic advocacy and service. I'm actually going to ask you maybe my first and only question. So let me just say, Chair Klobuchar, thanks for letting me come to the committee. I know it's not easy to get on the Rules Committee, and I'm one of the youngest or newest members, not the youngest. I used to be one of the youngest. And I am grateful to represent Colorado and to work alongside everybody here to advance this committee's important work. And for the last few years, the chair and I have had a friendly competition. It's been a losing competition for me about whose state could produce the highest turnout of voters in the election. Since I said it in every single corner of Colorado this election while I was running for re-election, I will say in front of everybody that we lost again to Senator Klobuchar and to Minnesota. I implored people to get to the vote, to get to the polls so they could deprive the chair of her talking point. And even though Minnesota came out on top, both of our states have a lot to be proud of because we are consistently delivering higher voter turnout than the rest of the country. And the reason for that is that we made it very easy for everybody to vote without compromising security in any way. Nobody in Colorado would accept compromised security, and we don't. Colorado's approach allows residents to register online, not only with a driver's license, but with a social security number, something only one other state in the nation accepts. We have automatic voter registration that meets Coloradans where they are, so they don't have to take a day off work to find childcare to ensure their names are on the voter rolls. We have same-day voter registration. We've led the charge on vote by mail, one of just 7 states to do so. In 2022, we were just having a discussion about vote by mail. In 2022, 95% of Coloradans voted by mail. Today, if somebody tried to take away vote by mail in my state, they would be run out of town for doing that. And one reason I wanted to join this committee is because we should make it easy for every American to vote the way people in Colorado have the chance to vote. Instead of expanding vote by mail, we've seen states move to restrict it. There are at least 80 bills in 23 states introduced to limit vote by mail based on the false belief that it's somehow more susceptible to fraud. And as we know in Colorado, an American is more likely literally to be struck by lightning than to commit fraud with a mail-in ballot. And don't take it from me, take it from the Heritage Foundation, a very conservative think tank here in Washington who found that out of 250 million absentee votes cast over a 20-year period, the rate of mail voting fraud was 0.00006% of all votes cast. That is virtually zero. In fact, I don't know if you can get closer to zero than that. So, Ms. Johnson, vote by mail has been a huge benefit to rural communities in my state that may live far from voter service and polling centers. How do you think efforts to restrict vote by mail affect voter turnout, in particular for communities that might already have difficulty making it to the polls?
Where we had a historic turnout, that was because of increased opportunities to vote, including increased access to vote by mail. And we saw particularly voters of color taking advantage of that opportunity to vote by mail. And I really hope that more states would be in competition with Colorado and Minnesota about who would have the highest turnout. because vote by mail really contributes to that. And when we see efforts in states that are making it harder for voters to vote by mail, it's making it harder for voters to have a voice because they're taking away that opportunity that voters had. And when they have that opportunity, they turn out. So it's really important to have a standard of vote by mail as an option so that we can make sure that we have high turnout across the country and not some states having opportunity and others not.
You know, one other thing I would just mention to the chair and the ranking member before I wrap up is that the other benefit to vote by mail in our state is we have ballot initiatives, you know, and people have to read those ballot initiatives. And it took me probably 45 minutes to fill out my ballot. The last time I voted, it took 2 seconds to actually cast the vote, but it gave us the chance to be able to reflect on stuff, look stuff up, think about things, and that's another aspect of it that I think if we gave it up, all it would mean is massive lines of less informed people at the polls. And but anyway, I commend it to everybody, and thanks again for letting me be on the committee, Madam Chair. I appreciate the time.
Okay, very, very good. Well, we're excited to